This week, we marked a milestone that nobody would have ever wanted to reach in the first place. 6 months ago, 67 people lost their lives. Soldiers, skaters, moms and dads, and so many others when American Airlines 5342 and an Army Black Hawk helicopter collided over the Potomac River. It was, by all accounts, the worst aviation disaster in America since 2009. And take a look. The NTSB has been going at it since 9 o'clock this morning. This is the third and final day of an investigative hearing, question after question, trying to understand what caused that midair collision on a frigid January night. They started this hearing on Wednesday, and so far, there's been almost 30 hours of testimony this week. Today's focus has been on the technology in cockpits that alerts pilots of traffic nearby. Part of that discussion, take a look at your screen, included these pictures showing what a helicopter pilot wearing night vision goggles sees when flying near DCA. I got a question for you. How many planes can you spot in that picture right there? There are several that are on approach, on their way to land at DCA. The Black Hawk helicopter crew on the night of the collision was indeed wearing night vision goggles, and there's been talk today about how when you wear those goggles, there's no color. There's the color shade like the green and the white, but you aren't able to see, for example, the navigation lights on planes, which are red and green and give you an idea of what direction planes nearby are flying in. Here are just some of the things that we have learned after, again, nearly 30 hours of testimony this week. The warning signs were there long before January 29th. Air traffic controllers say they raised red flags for years about the congested airspace around DCA, where, as we know, it wasn't uncommon to see helicopters and planes sharing the same sky. Uncomfortable. That's how a medevac helicopter pilot who flies in and out of DC described how he and his fellow pilots have felt when Army helicopters are flying around them. What's more, he was specifically talking about the choppers from the very same unit involved in the accident. The NTSB says the Black Hawk helicopter that January night had an incorrect altimeter reading. What's an altimeter, guys? It's an instrument in the cockpit that tells pilots how high they are. It was off by about 100 feet. And then we also got the transcripts of the cockpit voice recorders, or the black boxes. What was said inside the flight deck of American Airlines 5342? What was said in the Army helicopter? We learned that just 5 seconds before the crash, the instructor pilot on the Black Hawk told the pilot who was flying to turn left, as that's what he believed air traffic control was instructing them to do, pass behind American Airlines 5342. 5 seconds after that, there was impact. So what happens next? Well, just because today's the final day of this hearing does not mean we're going to get a final report on this accident. The NTSB won't be telling us what the probable cause of the midair collision was yet. What we can expect that final report in the next 6 to 12 months, along with recommendations to hopefully prevent another accident like this from ever happening again. Erica.
Indeed, Joseph, thank you.